Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Corbin Russwin, their part number 688F17-7. This is a latch bolt for the Ml2000 Series mortise lock, and this latch is probably going to be used in practically every mortise case. I don't know if it's in every mortise case, but it's probably in almost all of them. Typical replacement latch assembly. Why this client is purchasing it, this is clearly a school where this is going. Who knows? Vandalism, a lockout, and you partially damage the lock getting the door open. Maybe the latch bolt was damaged. Obviously with enough wear and tear, everything will ultimately wear out from wear and tear. Latch bolts are pretty unusual to wear out, that's to be sure. Probably was inadvertently damaged somehow, or maybe damaged in a controlled application, or again, a break-in. Somebody vandalized it breaking in. And luckily, to get the lock back to full operating original condition, the latch bolt is the only thing necessary to replace for this client, which is great. So this video is to show you what the latch bolt looks like. There are images down below. Speaking of down below, there is some supporting documentation, and let's take a closer look at that now, just for the sake of putting a tape measure around this. An overall length, about 3 7/8 of an inch. Typical latch bolt for the Ml2000 series, about 15/16. The body itself is about 9/16. Okay, that's where that deadlocking feature is going to rest right inside. It's not a deadlocking feature. This item is used to simply help the proper operation of the latch bolt. This point of contact, when it makes contact with the strike, will assist in getting the latch bolt moved back and into the case. If that wasn't there, you'd have less success with this profile of the latch hitting the strike plate and getting that pushed in, getting the latch bolt back into the and through the armor front and into the housing. Let's switch to the screen view and take a look at the supporting documentation. Okay, so this is the item that we're looking at here. There will be, by the time you're seeing this video, a link to the parts drawing. So let's take the part number and copy that and hop over to the document that is listed, linked to down below. And you're going to find part number 10 and all of the instances of where this latch falls into place. And it falls into place a good couple dozen times for these different variations of the lock, or different derivatives of the lock. And as you continue to scroll through, you'll see the different functions where it falls in line, and it appears to be a knob-only version of the hardware. Yeah, knob version is where this is coming up when I have done a find function on my keyboard. Lots of different places. Going to be part 10. Okay. So, very handy document. Allow you to continue to locate all of those different instances. Now, where that parts drawing is coming from is the link here to the manufacturer's page will allow you to pull up the manufacturer's page, where there is the complete parts and service manual, at least complete as it exists today. And that is not an insignificant document by any means. And from that document is where we derived the individual parts drawings or the parts listings of this latch bolt. And as we pull that up and do our find function, we'll again find all of the different matches for that item. But this document at 500 plus pages is going to show you a lot of different options when it comes to locating the other part numbers for that same lock that you're working on. For instance, a client bought the deadbolt spring and quite very much related to this mortise lock work, which is a 701 F22 is that part number. And again, searching the document will allow us to find those instances where part 12 comes up, our deadbolt spring. The point is you've now got the manual, and you can see where all of that falls into place. Other important documents on this page would, of course, be the full line catalog, the Corbin Russwin Cylinder Service Manual. This is incredibly valuable, this document. This is the governing document when it comes to all things cylinder as it relates to Corbin and Russwin and Corbin Russwin. And if you deal with Corbin Russwin or the individual companies at all, because they've been in business for decades upon decades upon decades, and you deal with the keying of that, this will be an absolutely indispensable resource. Also, all the Corbin Russwin products that we sell you can find on this page, and, well, on all of the pages that match that. Archival catalogs, if you wanted to see what P.F. Corbin was doing in 1905, there's a 1905 catalog. In terms of Russwin, if we go to manufacturers and then just search for Russwin, we'll be able to pull up. It was actually called Russell and Irwin. That's what it was. Russell and Irwin. If you wanted to see what was happening with Russwin, we do happen to have a 1930 product catalog here that is just Russell Irwin or Russwin products. And as we get that document loaded, 675 pages of what Russwin was doing in 1930. Just a great way to, either spend time looking at stuff that's, 80 years old at this point. What hardware was being manufactured at the time of World War II. If you're doing research, it's very not uncommon for a client to call us with a door closer, and I'm able to refer to an archival catalog and be able to pull that up for them. And why that's important is because it allows us to understand what the hardware was and what a possible modern option would be if repairing it is not an option. Very common trait of early catalogs is for manufacturers to very prominently showcase the work that they've done. Okay? Very common architecture for schools. The school that I went to, definitely a World War I era school. Chicago Public Schools very much looked like this building. Very typical construction. Anyway, speaking of those closers, those potbelly or traditional closers are listed here. A really great resource. I do find casement fasteners something, or casement adjusters. I've bumped into Russwin casement adjusters in the past and was able to use this catalog to help the client find out what it was that they had and what we can do today. Beautiful Art Deco design here. Anyway, let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, this video was to show you what the latch bolt looked like, show you where to find the resource documents, and a little bit about the history of Corbin and Russwin and Corbin Russwin. Any questions on the Corbin Russwin 688 F17-7 replacement latch bolt for those knob lock chassis, mortise cassettes I should say, or any other Corbin Russwin product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much.